Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to our first unit for IBMYP chemistry, which is called Matter Matters and is the basic of any science, chemistry, physics, biology. Okay, so what is matter? Well, matter is anything that takes up space. It takes up space, it occupies space and has a mass. So examples include water, planets and atoms. So all of these take up space and all of them have a mass. Okay, now matter can be classified into two parts. So I have matter, which can either be classified as physical or it can be classified as chemical. Okay, so the physical states of matter are those which you already know: solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, chemical are elements, compounds, and mixtures. Okay, now if we look at, we'll first focus on the physical classification of matter. If you look at solids, we can say that they are tightly packed, they have low energy, and they vibrate. So they vibrate when heat is given to them and they have low energy because they're tightly packed. That means they don't have enough space for to generate energy, or there's no more space, there's no space for energy. And if you have to represent them diagrammatically, which you may have to in your e-assessments, they are, so these are the particles. When you look under a microscope, they will look like this. So if you look under we look at a table under a microscope which has a really high magnification, you will see that the atoms or the particles are tightly packed. Okay, and now if I just look at this, they have low space between them, so there's less energy. And if I heat them, they start vibrating and they pass that heat energy to the next molecule. So first example, this has heat, it will pass here, then pass here, and that flow of energy between particles is known as conduction. Okay, now if I look at liquids, they are, so if solids are very closely packed, liquids are closely packed, but not as much as solids, and the particles touch each other. So I can say these are liquids. Sorry, they are, they touch each other. They have moderate energy, and if heat is applied, they randomly move. So the movement is random. And again, if I have to draw this, I would draw liquid like this. They are close. They do touch each other like a bit. So like something like just a bit. Like just a bit. Something like that. Yes. But they have enough space between them. So some may touch, some may not, and stuff like that. Yes. So this is a liquid. And there are some spaces between them, so energy can pass, and if heat is applied, they'll randomly move. Okay, now I have gases. So gases have a random arrangement, and molecules sorry, yeah, are far away from each other. Okay, they have high energy because there's a lot of space between them, and where heat is supplied, they also randomly move, random movement. Okay, if I have to draw gas like this, something really far apart. Okay, far apart. Now, if now this was the physical. Now, if I look at the chemical properties, I have elements. So, what are elements? So, elements are made up of one type of atom. We'll talk about atoms in another video. They can be metals, non-metals, or metalloids. We'll talk about these when we look at the periodic table, but just understand the idea of elements. For example, oxygen. We all breathe oxygen. Oxygen is an element. So if I have a box and I only have oxygen atoms in it, this would be an element. Now I have compounds. Okay, I have compounds. Now compounds, two or more atoms combined. Just remember this chemically. This is really important. Two or more atoms combined chemically, and they can either bond in an ionic way, a covalent way, or in this is just for MYP. MYP is only ionic and covalent. There's another one which is dative, but that is for DP in grade 11 and 12. It's not for MYP. And then we have, yes. So if I have to draw them, so for example, water. Water is between an hydrogen and oxygen. So oxygen combined with hydrogen and hydrogen. So I have two or more elements combined chemically. If I have to draw that in a box, I would have H2O, H2O, just the H2O in a box. This would be a compound. Okay. I then have mixtures, and mixtures are different. Many people have confusion between mixtures and compounds. Even I was one of them until I understood it in a diagrammatical way. Two or more elements or compounds, different elements or compounds combined physically. So compounds combine chemically, mixtures combine physically. There are two types of mixtures: homogeneous mixture, which have one phase, or you can call them a solution. For example, salt water. If you mix salt and water, you won't see the clear, you will only see water, you will not see salt. Therefore, it's a homogeneous mixture. However, there's one more which is heterogeneous mixtures, which have more than one phase. So homogeneous is uniform, whereas heterogeneous is non-uniform. For example, sand and water. Sand deposits at the bottom of water, so it deposits, and you can see a layer of sand and a layer of water. Now, if I have to draw mixtures, mixture can be air, for example, say air. So imagine this is air. I will have nitrogen, hydrogen, water, oxygen, say in rare cases, but sulfur dioxide. So compounds, mixtures, compounds, elements, they are not one. So hydrogen and water are not bonded together. They are separate. They are just combined in a medium, in an air, in a space. Therefore, these are mixtures. Okay, so just remember that matter is anything that takes up space and has mass, and it can be physical or chemical. Physical including solids, liquids, gases, chemical elements, compounds, and mixtures. Mixtures can be of two types: homogeneous, heterogeneous. Okay, that was it for today. Thank you.